Our next speaker will be speaking about responsible AI and governance, navigating the ethical frontier. So please give a very warm welcome to Umer Jamal. He's Customer Success Manager at Qatar Datamation Systems QDS. Please welcome Umer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Umer Jamal, and I work for a Qatari company called QDS. We provide solutions for AI, for data, for analytics, for infrastructure, data security, and all. So these are really serious sessions. I sat through some of them, and they're really serious. So let me first start off with what AI means for me. What AI means for me is, it is not my friend. It is not my colleague. It is not going to be in any way my psychiatrist. It is not going to be my love. It is something that I see closest to being my assistant. And that's the purpose of AI since the beginning. And that should be the purpose of AI. Now, just recently, I don't know if you heard the news, there was this guy who was in a conversation with a bot. I won't name the bot for obvious reasons. But he was chatting to a LLM model, and the model said, "You are not needed. You're hopeless." And I certainly, something came back to me. I said, I've heard these words somewhere. That is something our parents would say. That's supposed to be a funny thing, but okay. So when I saw that news, I was like, what's going on here? Why would an AI bot say to a person that you're not needed, you're hopeless? And guys from subcontinent would know that this is something that we hear from our childhood. And then it gets darker. The bot tells him that you are a burden on society. Please die. So that shook me. You don't want that from AI. Nobody wants that from AI. Because a person in a right mindset can literally take these instructions. So, what do I want my AI to do? Another example. I was, in an event 2 days back, and there was a monstrosity of a machine that was created to serve coffee based on your mood. So you had to stand in front of the coffee machine, and it would scan you and say, okay, which coffee do you need? I don't want AI to do that. I don't want AI to make my decisions for me. These are my decisions. God damn it, I want a cappuccino. Why would you give me black coffee again and again? I don't want it. So, coming back to the topic, now that you know where my AI comes from, since the past 20 years, what I've seen is, AI is an assistant to human beings. And no matter how better things we are doing with AI, at the end of the day, it should result in benefit of the society. And coming back to my topic, that ethics is a huge part of it. So you see a lot of non-ethical AI. You see deep fakes. Get ready for another thing. Another trend is going to come in. And it's going to be in your local language. Your mother would call you and from a different number, and it's going to say, I lost my purse, I lost my cell phone, I'm calling you from a stranger's number. Send me this much money on this account so I can take it out of ATM. Or buy me a couple of Apple cards. And you're going to believe that audio. And people are believing that audio. And in panic, you're going to send the money. Later on to know that your mother never called you. So that's deep fake. Taking your audio, taking your voice and converting it to something and then trying to make you a victim of this fraud. So that's where ethics come from. When you develop these models, when you develop these algorithms, you need to be ethical on both sides. So by both sides, I mean from the people who are creating models and from the people who are sponsoring and using these models. So, I mean, these are very known terms in AI. Ethical AI is your moral compass. Moral compass means it gives you the moral principles that you should consider when you're making an AI model, or when you're buying an AI model, or when you're assigning some work to a vendor who's creating an AI model for you. Those ethics can be different for regions. Those ethics can be different for religions. Those ethics can be different for companies as well. So, and then using ethics, we bring into birth a responsible AI. If a model is ethical, there is a huge chance that it's going to be a responsible one. So what does responsible AI have to do with ethics? Using ethical principles, you develop a responsible AI. And then governance, on top of it, make sure that you do the right things, build the right mechanisms, build the right frameworks to keep the model responsible. So model is never, these models these AI algorithms that they're written, they're not a one-time job. You keep on monitoring them. You keep on seeing what it's producing. So let me ask a question from the audience, from you guys. Do you think algorithms can be biased? How many people think algorithms can be biased? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe 20% people think that algorithms can be biased. Yes, algorithms can be biased because it depends on the people who wrote them. So I would not be surprised if an algorithm created in West fails to recognize your face because you're a darker guy. I wouldn't be surprised. The data was not diverse enough. They never considered your facial, color. And at the end of the day, that results in a model that is not accurate, a model that's biased. So that's where governance, ethics, responsible AI comes in. But what does it all mean for your business? These are the definitional terms that we throw around, that your AI should be responsible, ethics, and all that. But what does it mean for a business is, what do we need to do? We as developers and you as customers, you need to ask the right questions. That's the basics of it. Ask the right questions. You already know your companies, you already know your core values. You build an ethical framework, which basically means your organizational core values should not be at risk. Those core values that you created when your company started, like honesty, integrity, and customer success and customer focus, are they getting hurt by the model that you're creating? Then your data quality and fairness. Clean data, better data. A lot of data, but diversified data. Diversified data means you have a data set that's huge, and machine can learn from multiple instances, and then the possibility of biasness goes down. So transparency and explainability, if you cannot explain the process that the model follows, there is a huge chance that it collides with your core values. So whether you're building a model, whether you're purchasing a model, you need to ask these questions. Can you explain how this model works? Can you make the working of the model into a visualization so I can see what are the stages of this model and what are the outputs? So whenever you're building or buying, ask them to explain it. Then comes robust governance. Create an ethical committee for the organizations. Create an ethical committee, keep on auditing that particular model to see if the biasness is coming in. Privacy and security, ask for consent, make sure data security is there. I mean, these are the things that we have done in data governance. These are the things that we have done, when we were developing applications back in the time when we were hiring, when we were, developing or asking or implementing ERPs. So we have done all of these things before as well. Rigorous testing and validation, that's something different. That's something different in AI because you have to keep on seeing the results. You have to keep on the biasness, look at the biasness that the data is creating. The anomalies have to be removed in order to get to the right results, accurate results without biasness. Ethical culture in your organizations, promote ethics, keep on taking the feedback from those who are using the model in order to fix it. And a model can take up to 5 to 10 years to get better. So it's something that you have to invest as a company, as a vendor, in order to make ethics work. So, within the organizations, you can have a certain model where your business, so I'll not get into the details, but your business always pushes the AI use cases, and those AI use cases somehow become the IT's responsibility to implement, and then IT delegates it to the vendor, and the vendor tries to come up with these models. That's not going to work. This is far more, unknown domain for organizations. So you need to involve your legal departments, you need to involve your risk departments in order to see, all of the steps that I told you before, if everything right is in place, if we are not, against our core values, are we going against the ethics? And then there are particular functions. Yes, the data sciences part is driven by the Chief Information Officer. He's supposed to manage the vendors, while the risk management part look at different aspects of risk. What can be the reputational risk? What can be the, what type of contract agreements should be there? What kind of intellectual property should be there? So let me tell you, we were talking to a customer and we said, use ChatGPT, or you call it Copilot now in Microsoft. You use Copilot on Outlook. You get thousands of emails. Just ask it to summarize all the emails. And the person said, I don't want my emails to go to the internet. So look at this response and think about it. Emails go through the internet. I don't want my emails to go into the internet for analysis. But you're already using email is a function that is done through internet. So what is the risk there? Why this fear? So without further ado, I only have 1 minute. Let's discuss the elephant in the room. Not me, but the LLM model, right? So what have LLM models done? Very, very brilliantly, I would say. I'll give you one example. Microsoft Office. There was a time that Microsoft Office was something that you may have and something you don't have. Today, you cannot imagine your job without Microsoft Office, right? Can you imagine a job without Microsoft Office, especially if you're an office worker? No, right? Everybody uses Outlook, everybody uses Microsoft Office. I would say in 2 years' time, Copilot would become the same thing as Microsoft Office has. Now, as an organization, what do you need to think about it? So the first reaction that we get, the type of customers that we talk to, either believe that they can ignore it. Let's ignore the use of LLM models or these bots at workplace. They just ignore it. They let their employees use it, right? The second instinct that comes in is block everything. Block ChatGPT, block Gemini, block Copilot, the public version, and just let's believe that nobody's using it. That's not happening. The reason why there was AI was only restricted to specific use cases, and then generative AI comes in and the pattern goes up, there is a reason for that. Because every human being is interested in it. Every human being wants to have a shortcut. Everybody wants to not read a huge manual, but use a bot to summarize it. So if you're blocking it, do you think they're not using it? How many people believe that blocking a business GPT at workplace stops them from using it? Can you raise your hand up? Do you believe that blocking it would stop them from using it? So no, it won't. They will use it on your mobile, in their mobile. They will, find ways. They'll use VPN. They'll take the work at home and do it from their personal laptop. What is at risk? Your information is at risk. So what do we need to do? We need to believe in the enterprises that we have believed in before. Those who take care of our emails, those who take care of our storage, those who take care of our security. Do not use public GPTs at work, because that data is used to train models. Confidential information going to a GPT means your information can be used. So what do? We cannot stop the employees from using it. We cannot block it altogether. We cannot discourage AI, because if you're discouraging AI and your competitor is using it the right way, they're going to get miles ahead of you. So what do? We use it the right way. And what is the right way? Using GPTs at workplace? There is an ethical way. The way is to use an enterprise GPT, which takes care of all these elements that creates fear and enables you to either block it or ignore it. Use it and use it the right way. So these companies like Microsoft and Google and even ChatGPT have a very solid foundation of ethical AI and governance, and they enable it. They have done it. How they do it is, the way they keep your data personalized to yourself is all mentioned over there. And if we go and check it out, and if we summarize it using ChatGPT and read it, they have done some amazing work in order to secure your data. And let me say that Microsoft Office, aligned with Copilot is a masterstroke. I mean, can you just think about it? If you have to read a manual of 100 words or 100 pages, and if you have Copilot, only working on your personal data, you can ask that Copilot, just summarize this just summarize all the important, highlights of this document into a paragraph or a page. And you can get your work done quickly. And there are multiple use cases where you can use this productivity tool along with Microsoft Office. So that's one of the examples of using it the right way. So for Q&A, because I started a little late, please, I'll encourage you to ask any questions if you have.
Very quickly, in the audience, do we have a question? Umer, we are tight on time. We've gone a little bit over. So thank you so much for
Thank
your
you, everyone.
Umer, Jamal, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.